Good afternoon. I have the pleasure of introducing the keynote speaker. Muriel Bowser is the 7th elected mayor of Washington, D.C. She has a strong record of creating a bold urban policy agenda, making tough decisions in a high-stakes environment, and shaping a diverse economy. Mayor Bowser has served her hometown in elected office since 2004 as an advisory neighborhood commissioner, member of the D.C. Council, and now mayor since 2015. She is the only second person elected 3 times as a mayor of Washington, D.C. She is the first African-American woman to be elected to 3 4-year terms as a mayor of any American city. Mayor Bowser is a strong leader and a crisis manager, particularly during COVID-19 racial injustice protests. Pandemic spawned crime and unemployment increases with 25 years of management and financial experience, balancing budgets, achieving AAA bond ratings, and clean audits. Mayor Bowser has been at the forefront of national thought leadership on affordable housing and homelessness, is committed to an equity agenda, and is focused on investing in DC small businesses. Transformational economic development projects, Mayor Bowser has played key roles in delivering, creating jobs and housing for DC residents, including Audi Field, the Entertainment and Sports Arena, St. Elizabeth's, Walter Reed, Macmillan, and the Wharf. Mayor Bowser is a graduate of the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative and of Leadership Greater Washington. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from Chatham University and a Master's of Public Policy from the American University. She and her daughter, Miranda, call Ward for their home. And without further ado, Mayor Bowser.
Well, greetings, everybody. And thank you for that introduction, the extended version. I appreciate it. It is good to look back, as I know you are doing here today in the Community Improvement District. Let me also acknowledge you, Burke, for your leadership and service to the CID in Kenyatta. When they said 9 years, I couldn't believe it. It's been a wonderful 9 years of your leadership here in Mount Vernon. I'm also pleased to be joined by members of my team who help make sure the city is running and we're doing all the things we need to do. First, Rosemary Sugg Evans, who is the director of DSLBD, our small and local business organization. Dani Freeman, who is the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, and Nina Albert, who is the deputy mayor for Planning and Economic Development, and Marcus Manning, where's Marcus? Right there, who is the Ward 6 Mokers manager. Delano Hunter is here, who is the director of our Department of General Services, or the real estate arm for the district. So I know this has been billed a keynote speech, but I promise it won't be long. And I usually at this time of year in briefing, I see our MPD official here. Thank you, MPD, for your service. I usually spend time talking about the big issues facing the city, as well as our budget investments and what we need to do together. I know that your council member was here a little bit earlier, and we continue to work with the council member on the big issues facing the city. And so one thing in that introduction that was being read, and I was, as I was sitting there thinking, I've had like a normal mayor day. And so a normal mayor day is I was in Ward 7 at a wonderful groundbreaking for Parks and Recreation Center. I then came back to my office and had council member meetings. I then had meetings with my team on some of the big issues facing us. I had some phone calls and some emails. I didn't have lunch. And then at the end of the day, I'm getting something that's really important to the district, and that's a vote on the future of RFK and next week. So that's a good mayor day. And I am also very pleased that I get to wrap it up talking, as Burke has said, on a real key building block on how cities work. And we learned in our city that a key partner to us are business improvement districts, and in your case, community improvement districts, where the government is going to do all of the things that it does well, of course. We're going to focus on services. We're going to focus on economic development, public safety, transportation. And then we want to look to local community experts to focus at a micro level on how neighborhoods, city blocks, all the way down to bioretention fields work in a community. That's what people see and feel. I used to say what matters most to people is as soon as they walk out their front door, it's the sidewalk, the street, the trees, the street lights, the alleys, and how well they're working. And then they're going to walk and they're going to look at their bus stop and see if there is graffiti or trash, or if the trash has been picked up. Or then they're going to look in their alley and is it overgrown, and is, everybody coming to pick up the trash when they're supposed to. And then they're going to start asking, well, can I do everything I need to do in my neighborhood? And you have figured out how to create a 15-minute neighborhood. Can I go to the cleaners? Is there a place where I can buy my coffee? Is there a park where I can walk my dog or exercise or just get some sunlight and see my friends and neighbors? And that is what is so critical and what we have found success in this city, and that what our taxpayers are willing to invest in is having that extra level of service on top of what a great city can accomplish. So I'm really proud of our agencies and what we have been able to do in the area of clean and safe services. I'm proud of the partnerships that we have with our private organizations that are adding an additional level of clean and safe. I'm proud of your advocacy, and I want to say thank you for that, for working with the DC Council and policymakers on making sure we have the public safety resources that we need. And because we've been able to join arms and change the policy environment for policing in this city, and so many other interventions that we've been able to put in place and work with the council to change the law, we have seen the single highest drop in violent crime in the city's history, including being at a 30-year low in violent crime. So as happy as we are with that trajectory, we don't want to take our foot off the gas. We want to make sure that MPD has the resources that it needs, and that we don't backslide with policy change. We work real hard to get the laws on our books right, and we don't want to see, because we're experiencing going in the right direction, any backsliding on that. One recent initiative that we advanced was around a juvenile curfew. We have seen in some of our larger gathering areas just some unproductive convening, shall I say, of juveniles, young people. The juveniles is a police word, young people. And I'm so proud that DPR has been a part of that solution in making sure we have late night events and evening events around the city for our young people. We have also seen our great value right now, especially as our economy is shifting, and it is shifting because because of some federal decisions and changes in the federal footprint. And that is going to have an impact on our anticipated revenues. I have to say, is troubling as all these shifts can be, and as concerned as I am about our overall revenues, we're doing all right. Like right now, we're doing okay. We're holding our own. Our chief financial officer in June updated our revenue estimates, and we were to the good. We were plus from February. That's good. Now, there have been some court decisions and other things that may mean that we have more impacts on DC residents and their jobs, and more impact on people who made decisions to take these early outs, and we would see that in the fall. So we are monitoring that very closely to see what impact there will be on our local revenues. Additionally, the new federal bill that has some tax changes, we're monitoring that as well to see what the impact would be on our revenues. We anticipate that it's a positive impact for residents and businesses. It could be potentially a negative hit for our overall budget. So we'll have to work with that. So what does all of that mean? That means that we have to provide great services. We have to provide those services even in the face of increasing cost for the same services. And I don't have to tell you about that. You know about that from your own household, right? The same food costs more money. The same electricity costs more money. The same everything costs more money. So what does the government do when you aggregate all of our expenses and needs? That means to do what we're doing right now, next year, it will cost more money. So what I have advanced to the council is ways to both streamline what we're spending and increase what we have coming in the door without raising your taxes. And the way that we increase what's coming in the door in terms of revenue is to create more economic activity. And that's why we have been so focused on our growth agenda with the deputy mayor. And a few pillars of that agenda is to double down on what we do really well and what is doing really well, and that's sports and entertainment. So there you saw the focus on Cat 1 Arena, on Audi Field, and of course transforming 180 acres at RFK, which will yield about $4 billion over the next 30 years. So that's part of the growth agenda. Additionally, we're focused on laws and regulations that are driving business away or hurting business, which is why you've heard me talk about what's impacting restaurants in this initiative that has us an outsized policy environment from our neighbors in Maryland and Virginia. So I'm hopeful that you'll talk to Councilmember Allen, let him know what's happening to restaurants in Ward 6 and in Mount Vernon. Okay, ask him to change his vote because it's not working. Are you with me? It's not working. Okay, so like while everybody says, well, you can't change an initiative because that's what the voters said. Well, we have an obligation as policymakers to say if something is killing our economy. And the council changes laws all the time with some experience, and initiatives should be in the same bucket. If an initiative has been in place and it's had a negative impact on our economy, not just on the number of restaurants, but on workers who are getting less they're taking home less money because of it. So there's time to fix it. So and I hope that's where we'll go. But another great part that it appears that the council is supporting from our growth agenda is allowing us to equalize our business attraction investment. And so some of those strategies are just putting more boots on the ground and calling potential employers filling vacant spaces, working with our bids and our community associations to make sure we're getting the type of retailers and vacant spaces that we need. It means when Cap 1 is closed during the summer for these beautiful, massive, transformative renovations, we know that there will be some impacts, so we want to put in more activity in the neighborhood around those times as well. So we are doing a great deal. I hope you'll go to learn more about the growth agenda, work with Deputy Mayor Albert, work with Rosemary and her team, and all of our teams on business attraction strategies and ways we can make it easier to do business in the district. So with that, I want to say again, congratulations, Mount Vernon. Thank you for inviting me, and please invite me again. Thank you.